Well, the region remains extremely fragile. Last year, certainly, the picture was much worse. We were emerging from one of the worst droughts on record. This year, millions of households are trying to recover from last year's battering by nature. On top of this task, they've also been hit by man-made disasters, northern Mali, refugees from Darfur and Central African Republic. So the region as a whole is a region that's turning a corner, we hope, certainly a sense of optimism about the future today as compared to maybe 12 months ago, but still a picture that's very fragile. In terms of humanitarian needs, we have over 11 million people that are food insecure. We have almost 5 million children that are acutely malnourished. These are the kinds of indicators that point to some of the poorest communities on the planet. Well, as you know, we launch humanitarian appeals to respond to these types of crisis situations. This year we launched a $1.7 billion appeal, and about half of the funding so far has been received. So we still have a big 50% hole that needs to be filled. Perhaps more seriously, however, is the question of how do we reduce next year's caseload? How do we try and make sure we've got less humanitarian suffering, less humanitarian needs in the next lean season? There, the problem is more complex, because while we have good responses to needs on, say, food security and nutrition, where the results are visible immediately, where you really feel you're funding life-saving activities, when you look at other sectors that we also need help on, like agriculture or water and sanitation, responses are much less generous, much less enthusiastic. The problem for us that this poses is that if we want to reduce next year's caseload, then we need these kinds of inputs as well. If we don't help with agriculture, for example, we don't reduce next year's food insecure. And the number of malnourished children is not going to move if we don't also get water and sanitation services to their homes or to their communities, because that's got a very direct impact on the nutrition status of children as well. So we need more funding, as always, maybe, but we need a more balanced response. Different sectors all being funded in order to really produce the result that we all want, which is less humanitarian suffering and, of course, less humanitarian financial needs in the next year and the year after that.